our truth on sports. I apologize in advance if I am out of line here.
Brace yourselves, boys.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what do you think you are doing?
I'm not reading, I'm just looking at the picture. Welcome, our truth on sports.
Welcome, everybody, to another week here, the Cold Hard Truth on Sports on the GoLong Media channel here on blogtalkradio.com. Also over on the Spreaker app. I know quite a few of you over there listening to us live on Spreaker, live on Google Hangouts as well, if you want to go hang on Google Hangout. So, always trying to bring you syndicated sports radio, real sports takes. Let's go over tonight. Have a little bit you hear the internet giving some fits. But it looks like my soundboards are all up and running, except for Blog Talk. So, here in a little bit, and we're going to preview the New Year's 6 game. And, let's see here. We're going to preview the New Year's Day games as well as the college football playoff, and we will be our predictions for of the college football playoffs. Right now, there is a game. There's no need to go. Well, I'll just put it on mute. But we'll keep you updated with what's going on in that show, that game, rather. Why is it doing this? Anyways, we'll keep you up to date on it. FAU is up 31-3 on Akron over there in the Boca Raton. I was a little late in a request for credentials for that one. Otherwise, I would be there and not on the air tonight. Had some issues with the internet tonight, connecting, and had to wonderful call over to our podcast representative, them modem and figure out why the heck nothing was working. So they're telling me it's 150 megabyte load and download, and I'm calling BS on this. I don't think this is 150. This is this is not 150. This is 10. And this is on the 5 meg you have it set up on? Yeah? We're set up on 5 megahertz? It's the 5 megahertz one. So it's the faster of the two. And we have two accesses, a 5 megahertz and a 2.5 megahertz. And we're running on the 5 megahertz. And at 150 megabyte up download speed. And, it doesn't seem to be moving so swiftly. So if you want, you can 347-237-5539. I see a few of you are already starting to message in. If you want to, the show handle is at the CHT on sports, which is also the website, thechtonsports.com. Upper left-hand corner, you can click on listen to listen to full shows or this live show you can listen to over there. Some you can listen to on the Spreaker app, which is awesome. Some on Blog Talk Radio, which you can now put your phone lock and still be able to listen to the show and it not shut off, which is awesome. I like that because I'm in the shows in my car. And I don't have to kill my battery with the screen on. So, that's nice. I don't know what it is. It's now this is through a prompt. Like we haven't been doing this at 12. I don't know. It won't go away. I don't know. Can you buddy to look at that? Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Show must go on. So, football bowl games we got. Like I said, we got tonight is the Boca Raton Bowl. Currently, FAU up 21-3 over the Akron Zips. It was one of the big reasons I wanted to cover this is because this is Lane Kiffin and Tommy Bowden. Those are the head coaches. So two lineages of football coaching in the game. So I thought that was probably one of the most interesting things. I didn't get much on that. It was kind of breaking news there. It's not really for me. As I've been telling everybody, although everyone has been insisting, Lane Kiffin's going here, Lane Kiffin's going here, Lane Kiffin's not going anywhere. And as I've been telling you for over a month, he is not going to leave FAU for a college coaching gig. NFL is a different story. So, okay. The board's not even up. I'll do it. Yeah, we're doing stuff right now. Let me pull it up here. Just bear with a minute here. We're having some fun. Here we go, studio. So, normally, and now feed. All right. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so as you can see here, normally this here, I don't know if you can, the video feed's not. Yeah, you see this here? So normally I have this, I don't know if you were watching at home can see that. I have the soundboard up on my mobile because for whatever reason it is not cooperating with the internet. It's just not working right. So that's just gonna that whatever. Anyways. It doesn't even seem like all right. I mean, I'm showing scales here. All right. Sorry, people. Bear with me here for a moment. I don't have anything on this board. I'm just gonna keep going. All right. So my notes and everything are gone for the show. I don't have them. So let's give me a minute. All right. All right, here we go. So the Boca Raton Bowl. So this is, like I said, so the interesting thing about the Boca Raton Bowl is that we have two families, two well-known college football families. Okay, it looks like some of the feeds are coming back up now. Pinned against each other. You got Tommy Bowden over with the Akron Zips, and of course Lane with FAU. Now, I've been saying for months that Lane Kiffin isn't going to go anywhere. He's not leaving FAU, and he's not leaving there for any other college coaching job. A lot of you said Tennessee, a lot of you Florida, a lot of you said, oh, no. He's not leaving FAU for another college gig, okay? He actually today, and kind of made it light about kind of made a joke in the breaking news that, because I've been saying this for months, but Lane Kiffin signed a 10-year extension today. I don't have the exact dollar figures yet. It's probably somewhere between 25 and, say, give me a second. Got my notes back up. So if it's 10 years, it's probably somewhere around $5 to $6.5 million a year. If that's the upgrade. That's where most top made right now. Yeah, they say it might be a little less than that. It's probably not more than 6.5. Okay, so probably between 4 and 6.5. Again, I'm throwing some figures out there. Again, I don't have exact on this, so. But all right, I got this kind of. All right, we're working through this stuff. Hopefully, even if what it's looking from my end doesn't seem too appealing, hopefully from your end, it looks and sounds much better. Because the thing is about radio, when you do like it's individuals, you are for 3 hours, in my case, 3 hours of just talking to myself. The producers, but yeah, you don't count. You don't count. I'm sorry. You don't even have a microphone. If you don't have a microphone, no. You're not on air, though. Exactly. All right. But I was really looking forward to it. I was. Because I saw this extension coming for Kiffin. And the whole concept, everybody seems to think, the idea. People do this with everybody. You know, you have an idea of what you think someone is, and people just assume that is what it is. So, like, Len, I know he's kind of a different, right? Like, I've had numerous last year at the Shrine game, some outgoing players. Just tell me, he's a weird dude. Now, do I think that's messed to call him a weird dude? I don't know. Just different. And maybe he has this more creative, open mindset to things. Isn't a negative to me. Clearly, put it into the context of football, it works. It works. He team, and they're 10 wins. When you see FAU turn around with 10 wins, when you see UCF with 13 wins, undefeated, 12, they're undefeated, right? Yeah, they have 12 games during the season, bowl 15-0. Yeah. Right? I don't know. The internet's not 13-0. They're undefeated. I know that. And like I said, by the way, people, you need to tune into this show, because I don't know what it is about catching on late with this stuff. You just listen to the show, you know this. You know these things, like Scott Frost will coach the bowl game for UCF. When he has a group of guys that I feel very close, and I want to make sure I finish what I started, and those guys deserve to have a coach in the bowl game that they qualify for and have the best chance and the best opportunity to win, I want to make sure I'm there coaching, if everything permits. This is something, even before it was official, that he was announced, that news outlets were still debating, he might go to. Kirk Herbstreit said, I would be shocked if he doesn't go to Florida. He's not going to Florida. It's a done deal. It's going to Nebraska. And then on top of that, I added, he will also coach for them in the bowl game. And the athletic director and the University of Nebraska will allow that. Now, again, his coaching staff, all 10 of the guys from UCF, all came over with him to Nebraska, and none of the outgoing staff this last season were retained. None of them. That was kind of amazing. I thought Keith Williams, I thought Coach Dubs would have been retained, but never even got a phone call. Never was contacted. Which that right there was just was one of those things that I think that was a miss, No, Denny. Yeah, I'm seeing here now. The message board popped up. I don't know. Vanny, not no relation to Bobby. Devaney, he was essentially a liaison. He was kind of like the right hand man of the head coach. He was a special advisor. He came over. He worked for the 49ers and a few other teams in the NFL. He's been mainly a front office guy. But Devaney had been there a year and a half. This is Billy Devaney. No, he definitely was not retained. He was not, from what I'm told. Well, let me put it in a different way. And I quote, he was hated. Individuals there. So, at the university. He's not there. No. John Perella, I know he's a former Husker. He was not retained either. Keith Williams was not retained. And Ryan, I don't know. I got these. A few things that over me. He's quite no, I don't know. But I did put an update in there. A lot of things are moving for the University of Nebraska. 2 days ago, they win the college volleyball national championship. The 5th. Seems like they're contending for it every year. A 5 seed. Yeah. So, good stuff. I'm just some of your messages here. Hopefully my board comes back up here. I got it here on my device here. So if you want to go 347-237-939, I can pull callers in. Okay. 347-5539. But I expect that Ross will go for because coming up here on the 18th, which is Monday. No, wait, this past Monday, was official dead period started. So from Monday, so yesterday. God, I can't believe today's the 19th of December. Jeez. Where did July? I feel like I don't even remember what he did for the. I don't remember what he did. I don't even remember what he did for the 4th. To be honest with you, I don't recall. But yeah, it's in the dead period, so he headed back down to UCF to prepare for the Peach. And again, that's one of those New Year's 6 games. It will be a 12:30 p.m. game on ESPN. And if you go over to the chtonsports.com, we have the article up. I have a whole list. Just look for 2017-2018 college bowl game. It has the bowl game, time, and the network that shows up on with the teams. And I have links, streaming links. You don't even have to do any work. Just click on just go to my chtonsports.com. Click on that. Click on that. That article has everything. It has it all. So, it was on ESPN at 12:30, and it looks like UCF as the home team. They're obviously being undefeated. It makes sense. No, it's ranked higher, I guess technically. So, forward to that game. I will get into my pick there. Are we gonna come? Oh, right now. Okay. All right. We had those up on the site. I'm told I'm supposed to save that for the website. Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about it next week then. Yeah. Of course. Yes, there will be a show. As far as I know right now. Yeah, show. I'm not canceling the show. No. So tonight, like I said, FAU and Akron. Right now, FAU is up in the third quarter with a 28-3 game. Pretty much along with my predictions. I'm going to go back over the record for what we had for last week. Where did you put it? Oh. My bad. It's right here the whole time. Oh, yeah, I got it. So. No, you don't have to. No, I got it right here. I want to go over the picks that I had from last week. And we are going to look for Kevin. I don't know where he's at. I haven't heard from him. All right. So, going back over the last week, again, did do that here. The way one on the celebration. My wife actually said at the game, she's like, "Ooh, I mean, historic black colleges have their own bowl game?" Yeah, they do. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Give me the whole list. Okay, so it's FCS. I'll do FCS. Why can't I just do all? No. All right. What missed out there was Grambling. I mean, Grambling had opportunities during the entire game to close out and win that game. I picked Grambling to win. They 14-21. So I took an L there. On the other hand, it's a game, and I went back. I watched Troy for the first half. Honestly, because Troy game wasn't such a close football game. I mean they were killing them. Troy winning 50-30. Yeah, I used something similar to what FAU and North Texas did. So, yeah. And then the next game, I didn't get to watch Georgia State, and Kevin and I both picked Kentucky, and I foobarred that. That was a loss there. And Western Kentucky, I felt like just kind of back. I didn't get to watch the entire game. I just felt like Western Kentucky, with turnovers, it was just what devastated them. The turnovers. That's a big. 3 turnovers, and just giving the ball right back. Only ball for about 24 minutes of the game. Just on top of that, 89 yards and penalties. It was just, the quarterback did a great job. I have to give it up to him. And I think Mike White legitimately looks like an NFL quarterback. Again, I don't know if he is a high rounder. Again, I gotta watch. I haven't went back over and done the scout tape and stuff like that on him, but from what I saw from the highlights there, I mean, he looked pretty good. Outside the interceptions, a lot of the interceptions were just forcing stuff from what I saw. Again, we really need to come up with a better definition of statistic of interception. Because from the defensive side, from the offensive side, it is completely different to have the ball tipped and then caught by somebody, then missing a route, throwing to or selling the ball too far, and the defender running it. I mean, the interceptions are all different. If you cut a route, cutting off a route and running for the end zone on it, on a post, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's they're different. They're different, and I think they need a way different. I know when I look at quarterback and look at the interception statistic, I'm looking at what is it? Why is interception? Does the quarterback know why he's throwing these interceptions? What is he doing? A lot of times, because they're immature, they're young, they're eyeing one guy, or they got one guy they feel comfortable with, and they're trying to force it to him all the time. And this guy is going to make a play. Be able to get the ball, just throw it. And that's well and good, but understand that the turnover caused there reflects as the interception. Because not everybody looks at it the way I do, be trouble. Now, Mike White, I believe an invitation to the Senior Bowl. My notes, if I remember my notes, the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Game. Two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Senior Bowl. He might have been both. Some of these do both. They tape is tape, man. You got he put up 359 yards in attempt, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. The wide receiver threw another interception, but still, he was 26 for 39 in passing for 351 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. The interception, it brought him down. So, those games, again, you want to see that. Georgia State, on the other hand, Connor Manning was 20 for 28, 276 yards in it. So, he has been one guy he targets. Yeah. So, set out on. I'm going to go back over and watch that the Cure Bowl, Las Vegas Bowl. I missed out on that one too. I went with Oregon, and it really showed up. I thought Cristobal and basically keeping that coaching staff intact outside of Willie Taggart, they may be able to find a way to beat. Boise State was up 24-14 at half, and then just kind of cruise from there. It was just a game where I felt like if Oregon doesn't commit the amount of penalties they did, they gave up like almost 100 yards in penalties. 4 turnovers, but Boise State turned the ball over 3 times. It was a really messy game. Kind of a similar situation as I saw the game. It seems like they had opportunities the entire game to turn it back around, and it came in their favor. But this is definitely a game I felt like Oregon should have won, and they let slip away. So, 4 for 14 on third downs. You can't, only 47 yards of rushing. It's pathetic. Yeah, it is. When did Boise State become this power run game? Huh? Yeah? Or Steph in the run all Marshall, Colorado State. Colorado State there. And Marshall, the Thundering Herd, really played this one tight. I thought Colorado State had a bit more in them. It's another one of those games. Marshall gave Colorado State every opportunity. Colorado State on the statistics won this game. Controlled the clock, controlled the turnover, only had 3 penalties the entire game. They outpassed yards, more passing yards than them. And then they were 9 for 19 on third downs, and they had 26 first downs. The only place they didn't beat them was rushing yards and the scoreboard, most important. So they got a 3-point victory over Colorado State. So in the New Mexico, I want to go to that game one time. Yeah, listen, I hear New Mexico is beautiful. I hear it's beautiful. Yeah. You guys don't want to go? No? All right. Suit yourself. Probably the most disappointing game was Camellia Bowl. Arkansas State lost. To Tennessee State. And again, I don't know what it is. This is, again, another game where if you look up and down, outside of rushing and the scoreboard, Arkansas State won everywhere. 32 first downs. 9 for 21 on third downs. 2 for 3 on fourth downs. More total yards. They had 358 yards of passing. Again, this is another one of those quarterbacks on this year for draft. 7 penalties for 81 yards and 3 turnovers were the key. Now, Justin Hansen, he's the guy that he's not saying that he'll come. He might, but he's the guy I've been looking at. He's put up almost 4,000 passing this season, 30 touchdowns, and completed 62.6% of his. So, has some good numbers. Why does it do that? See if it gives me this here. All right, I'm gonna pull it up over Football Reference. Right now, so this season and last, so junior senior has by far been better, the best. Where's this? His rating 149.6. So 37 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 16 interceptions is not a little amount of interceptions. It's 16 and 8 interceptions. he's doubled his interceptions, but he's effectively nearly touchdowns as well. And so far in one less game. He's completed and 108 more passes this season. 108 more passes completed, improving his efficiency by more than 3%. He's thrown for, let's see, 1,000, 1,200, 1,250, 50, what is it, 57? 1,257 more, averaging 0.2 yards per attempt, and again, almost doubling his touchdowns and interceptions. The guy is putting up some numbers. 6'4", 6'4". Saying this is a guy I've been keeping an eye on. We'll see. There's no firm decision on if Hansen is okay or if he's coming out, but I will definitely update everybody on him. Mike White, though, I do believe he will be in the Senior Bowl. I don't know about the Shrine Game. I haven't got the official list on the Shrine Game yet. I know people have started to accept, and it was last week they started announcing some of those people that have accepted the invitation. He's definitely a good player to keep an eye on. He'll be fun to watch. And you'll hear guys. Now we're coming up on getting closer to the off season for him now, getting close to the combines and the pro the extended games, the senior, the developmental recruiting bowl games, scouting games rather. You'll start to see some of these names kind of pop up a bit more too. So I'm not going to get too deep into scouting because I haven't watched tons of film yet. I watch a fair amount of games on a lot of these guys. I'm from Nebraska and I went back, but I made arrangements to be there. Hansen guy play in Lincoln. So, and yeah, that's. Yeah, you can message. I'm not reading. Some of you people. No. And no, I'm not that it's gonna stew out for right. So a little bit of breaking news here. Got some breaking news. Do you have the audio? Come here. Would it allow us to play that? All right, no. So, breaking news. UConn coach Gino Ariena wins the 1,000th game, reaching faster than any other coach in women's basketball history. Gino Ariema, the coach of UConn, he went like 70-some games. It's like 70-some 1,000. Faster than anybody else in college basketball history, in women's basketball history. Just adjust my stuff here real quick. All right. Yeah, I'll get into this. I'll get into it. I did kind of want to do some of the Pro Bowl announcements tonight. I didn't. No, I didn't. No. I didn't get it in the dialogue for the breakdown, the rundown for the show. But I do have it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna go into. All right, here we go. So, and I just to me from, and I'll have this up on the site tonight too. Emailed to me from the NFL. Well, today I did. And the Pro Bowl this year will be in Orlando. I'm working on being there to cover that. And they're both from the same time. But this year, the Hall of Famers that will be the honorary captains are Pro Bowl and Hall of Famer Derek Brooks, work done, Pro Bowl Hall of Famer and 6-time Pro Bowler Jason Taylor, and Pro Football Hall of Famer and 5-time Pro Bowler LaDainian Tomlinson. They'll serve as the 2018 Pro Bowl legend captains. Captains. Jesus. All right. So, 24 of the players selected to the Pro Bowl today were the first time in the Pro Bowl, including running back Alvin Kamara, cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, both the Saints, running back Kareem Hunt of the Kansas City, and special teamer Bubba Baker of the Arizona Cardinals. 27 teams had at least one player elected to the 2018 Pro Bowl, and 21 clubs had multiple players selected to the Pro Bowl this year. Pittsburgh Steelers placed a league's best 8 players on the Pro Bowl roster. New Orleans Saints and Philadelphia Eagles led the NFC with 6. They both had 6. So, without ado, starting with the AFC, and then I'll bring some people in on this too. So, first, at quarterback, the starting quarterback, I presume, Tom Brady. He also, even if he's not in the Super Bowl, Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers. At wideout, Kareem Allen, Antonio Brown, A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins. At running back, Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, Sean McCoy. Fullback, Devlin. Now for the side of the ball. Defensive end, Joey Bosa, Silas Campbell, and Khalil Mack. Interior lineman, Geno Atkins, Jarrell Casey, and Malik Jackson. Outside linebackers, Javion Clowney, Von Miller, Terrell Suggs. And special teams, punter Brett Kern of the Titans. Place kicker Chris Boswell from the Steelers. Now for the AFC offense, starting a quarterback. They're going to have Drew Brees. Maybe in the Super Bowl. He might even play in that game. Russell Wilson. They might. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say both these teams are going to have some alternate quarterbacks in there. And wide out, Gerald, Julio Jones, Adam Thielen, and Michael Thomas. Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. Fullback, Kyle Jasinski. Is he the lone 49er? Did the only 49er that made it this year was a fullback? Oh, wow. That's all right, on the defense side of the ball. Everson Griffin, Cameron Jordan, DeMarcus Lawrence, interior lineman, Walter Cox, Aaron Donald, Gerald McCoy. Now that's the interior line. Outside linebacker, Antonio Barr, Chandler Jones, Ryan Kerrigan. Special teams, punter Johnny Hecker of the Rams, and place kicker Greg Zerling, also of the Rams. So that's how they stack down there for the Pro Bowl. It is a bunch. There are some guys. I didn't see Mike Evans from the Bucs on there. I don't know how. I'm gonna go and look at you. I don't know how he didn't make it, but he didn't. What is his numbers? I feel like he should be there though. Either way, he's like probably one of the best receivers he's top 5 in the league. Why would he be there? Okay, good point. 4. There's only 4, but so he was the only hard man out. Okay, gotcha. But let me bring in one of our lead football contributors, and he's the editor for boxing for the Cold Hard Truth on Sports, and he's the host of the Boxing Source Sunday, Mr. James Bell. James,
doing okay here.
Just
catching up the announcement.
What do you think of this? I mean, obviously there's a lot of new names this year. 21 teams put at least one in. Or 28 teams put at least one multiple players. Clearly, if there's only 28 teams represented, it means there's 4 teams that didn't have any Pro Bowls on them. That's terrible. Linemen. Those gnarly teams, like, they just suck, like the Browns. Like, they'll have an offensive lineman or a safety most years. Make it. But I don't. I'm not seeing any Browns players here.
You won't. You won't see no Browns player. Anyone from only one guy from the Niners I'm seeing right now. Yep. Who else would be out there? You seeing the Bears?
Nope.
Nobody from the Bears. And Bucks only got one player. You know, before and that's it. It hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's injured.
And he's hurt.
So,
They got one player, and he's hurt.
So, receivers. I don't see that many surprises in most of these skill positions. That quarterback in the NFC, but I would have thought that they would have had Goff in there maybe. Instead of Russell Wilson, but
Goff will be there, but it looks like they're going to end up having an alternate. Is obviously out play.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm looking at Evans. He has. He's on pace right now. How many games they got left? 1?
2.
2. He has 839 yards in the season. He is well within range of reaching 1,000 yards this season. 2 big games, 2,000. And I think he's already one of the fast players to get to. Yeah, he's had 1,000 yards at least in every season. This has been his worst season so far. His second season was worse for touchdowns, but he only has 5 touchdowns this season, getting 14 yards average. He has 839 yards on 60 receptions. So his reception count last year is average, but he had more touchdowns, and he had 36. He had 96 receptions last year. 60 right now. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if because the Bucs don't have a lot to play for right now, we might see them try to target Evans a lot to get him over 1,000 yards. I would probably be remiss. I might be stepping over the line here, but that might make him the fastest player, the first player in history to have 1,000 yards in his first 4 seasons. I have to look that up.
Yeah. See if that's released there for Mike Evans. Who they have there as starters is, of course, Julio Jones, who's going to be a definite pick almost every year. And Adam Thielen. And Thielen is basically, somebody that I would think people wouldn't expect to, be the, lead guy out of the Minnesota Vikings. But, he's been balling this year. He already has about, 1,200 yards receiving with those left. When he came out from, last year, had a good year last year, able to become and hasn't, stopped the wave since.
All right, I'm looking here. So AJ Green, Randy Moss. Let's see, Randy Moss actually reached the mark in his first 6 seasons.
It was his Randy Moss.
And then AJ came close. So, Green, Moss are obviously 2 good guys to company with when it comes to wide receivers. I just don't have. The Bucs just haven't really been able to make things. And here's the thing. I'm going to say something to the Bucs fans. Stop trying to fire your coach. Stop firing your coaches. Just chill out. Just chill the hell out. Listen, I wasn't of the thought that Cutter was an NFL head coach. That's what I said before there. and then you've Lovey, and you made him a head coach, and he did decent last year, in his first season, and then this year is kind of like slumped, and yeah, it's a slump. That's what it is. I mean, it's working some things out. A lot of injuries. Does Mike go? Yes, maybe no. I just don't get it. Like, why is it that you feel like you have a bad season and now everybody has that? Yeah, let's get all the coaching staff. Let's hire coaches to not coach and sit at home, and then we can find somebody else to actually come in and also pay them too. Like, I don't just keep wasting their money and running through coaches.
I don't know what they, what they're doing out there. It's crazy. It's almost like they're just, listening to the ear of whoever is around them. Because this past couple of years, you have some in Dirk Cutter, and the reason Dirk Cutter became the head coach is because folks were talking about, having him be the coach instead of who they had
that's
there
the thing
before.
Is they were worried that they were going to lose Dirk Cutter to somebody else as a head coach, and they liked him and wanted him more than they wanted Lovie Smith. So they fired Lovie and promoted Dirk Cutter.
They fired Lovie Smith.
So he did good in his first season, and now this season had struggles, but they haven't had the same running back core. They haven't had health at that position. Their quarterback out. They've struggled along the offensive line, the defensive line. The defense has just been obliterated with injuries, and it's just some stuff that they haven't been able to work out. So do I think he's the best coach to have? No, but John Gruden is not coming back to coach the Bucs. Please, Bucs fans, chill out.
Hey,
you're starting to Vols fans.
It's the voice. John Gruden is not walking through that door.
It's ridiculous. So, people need to just chill out, let stuff run its course. Come back next year with some better prospects, healthy players. McCoy's not going anywhere. Dave's not going anywhere. Alexander's not going anywhere. May retire. You don't know. You got Hargraves over there on the corner. It's some there. There's some things that they still need to right the ship on, but they can work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Steelers. The Steelers are a perfect case in point. They've had quite a bit of turnover, veteran guys retire, people injuries, but in the last 20 years, not 20 years, 15 years. We'll say the 15 years. They've had 2 head coaches in the last 15 years. 2 in 15 years.
I was gonna add to that. I was like 3, basically like.
Yeah, you can say like in forever. Probably in our lifetime, they've had 3 head coaches. That is, and again, the Steelers haven't been in the playoffs. They've had ups and downs. They've had struggles, but they're sticking with who they have.
Yep.
And it's worked its way. I mean, even with Coughlin in New York, that was the biggest roller coaster there was. So you're counting on Eli Manning to finally figure it out and get hot. And you win 2 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But every other year is either 8-8 or a dump. So even then, I mean, Coughlin was there for how long? 8 years?
Colin? Yeah, about 8 years or so.
So, Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls. I'm gonna look that up too. I'm interested in seeing that because having bad seasons are gonna happen, but firing everybody because you had a bad season isn't a way that you win. No, he was there longer than that. He was there 10 years. He was head coach for 11 years. And he won 2 Super Bowls. And he was and the last time Jacksonville was in the playoffs. Now he's back as president of player operations, and they're in the playoffs again. So it's like, I mean, Packers, even. I mean, their head coaches.
That was going to be my next mention one. Look how they run that franchise.
So they basically had, Barty, and then these 2 coaches. That's it. It's like ever. I just don't.
Look at how you have the New England Patriots. Look at where they were and look at where they are now. Look at the Baltimore Ravens franchise. How they're able to move from being the previous Cleveland Browns to moving over to Baltimore and then having Super Bowl themselves.
Yeah, I mean, are they trying to fire Harbaugh? Baltimore?
Nah. No.
I mean, you're right.
They may make the playoffs this year,
and they're terrible.
Yeah, they've been terrible, but they may make the playoffs.
I'm just.
Yeah, well, it's either them or the Bills, and I don't think Bills.
No, it's anti-Bills to make the playoffs. It's anti-Bills. They don't. Yeah. Yeah, the Bills and the Lions like the same team. It's
You can make the playoffs though. Playoffs in a couple years, so.
But they are the Lions, so they always screw it up somehow.
Yeah, they'll find a way. Yeah. That's almost how it is, honest with them. It's like they always like kind of have the parts to look good, but they don't necessarily have what it takes to be a great team in the NFC, and so that's why you kind of them not necessarily make the cut. What's interesting about this, though, since you brought them up, like a stat, I think it was yesterday, either yesterday or Sunday, you had the Vikings clinched that NFC North title, right? But over the past 10 years, the Detroit Lions have won only one division title in the NFC North in the past 10 years. One. Out of all the teams in the NFC North. Like the Bears have won more. The Bears have won more division titles.
The Bears into a Super Bowl.
They've been to a Super Bowl. Yep, they have. Lions never have reached them. Never reached it. So you got be able to have some thing going on where they can have offense and the quick at the same time, and to be a serious to contend. You're not seeing it with them, but at least they're doing a lot better than Tampa Bay is. Bay, they had those issues on defense, and yesterday you saw how the game was. I mean, it was they're there, but it wasn't necessarily all that could translate to a win on the board. So I mean, they got to be able to do something.
Real talk, though. Real talk. Jameis Winston outplayed Matt Ryan. True or false?
Well, that night he did. At least he had that one night where he's had the one night 299 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns. Mike Evans got a couple of big catches out there. So he didn't necessarily.
The difference was that at the end of the game that
basically
Devontae Freeman's run game, the touchdown run, that was it. That was the game. That was the game. And I'm just saying, like, I wasn't big on the Falcons at the beginning of the year. And it looked like the Bucs had more pieces at the beginning of the year, but just the amount of struggle with injuries. Didn't have McCoy. That was huge. So it's just been all season.
Yep.
All season long. So again, I don't want to highlight too much on the draft, but I don't think Bucs go pressure first either. So, Bucs fans don't get excited. They think there's going to first pick. Yeah. I mean, we still have.
Yeah, I don't know what
3 months. 3 months. I mean, everybody's putting in. Was a kid from North Carolina.
Oh, you mean NC State? Chubb?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Carolina State. Yeah. That's who they're putting in right now. So.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah, let's look it up, man.
Just so we, fourth quarter right now in the Baton Bowl. It is a nail biter. Florida A&M just put the extra point up. They now lead by a slim margin of 50 to 3. 10 minutes, 48 seconds left. 10:47 still left. Oh. However, in women's basketball, Nebraska beat them 86-69. Unfortunately, they can't win everything. Florida, Eddie Pintero has declared for the NFL draft. Just a little update there. Some news.
Wow.
Declared for the NFL draft. So,
the kicker goes on to like that. I mean, was he in menu? Did he,
I wish I could tell you that I kept a close eye. I wish I could tell you I kept a close. Was that the Jim Thorpe?
I think so. Ray Guy, like that. Maybe Ray Guy Award. I don't know.
Ray Guy, Jim. I feel like we should know this.
Yeah.
I don't vote.
And it's out there.
I don't vote for the award though. Yeah, it's the Ray Guy Award. But it's for punter. That's the punter. What is the?
Yeah,
term?
that's I was the guy. That was the Ray Guy. It had to be like punter or something like that.
Let me see what the Jim pulled out. Jim Thorpe is Jim Thorpe Award. Goes to maybe it's a.
Oh, Rosa was the kicker. Jim Thorpe is the defensive back.
Ah, yeah, that's a kid from Iowa. Josh Jackson. I like that kid. I like him. Like him. What is kicker? What is the kicker award?
I was saying the kicker award is Paul Rosa. Yes, Lou Groza Award. Yeah, that's who that's what that award is named for.
Yeah, let's see here. This year, Springs. What the hell?
Who are you talking about?
I'm trying to find the finalists. The 3 finalists. Am I reading?
Rosa?
Yeah. Because that's
I don't know how to find it either.
It's Collier from Colorado Springs, Colorado, is the first player to ever voted a finalist for Rosa 3 times. Yeah. You're like, shit. 3 times nominated. Get you. Ebery, who's a sophomore from Nuremberg, Germany State. And then a junior from Utah. I'm sorry. If whoever wrote this Luda Award announcement for the 3 finalists, whoever it is, you guys, it was terrible. It is completely unintentional to tell. Well, first of all, you don't even have the kids' first names in here. It's just the last name. Like Carlson. Is that his whole? Is his whole? Is he like the guy from Fresh Prince? Is that Will Carlson?
Carlson, man.
Because that's
Carlson.
That's Carlton. See, that's not even the same name. Carlton. Let's just have Carlson. Okay, here we go.
So,
okay, here further here. Daniel Wilson of Auburn. So he goes to Auburn.
Okay.
My statement stands.
There you have that.
Yeah, I'm gonna Maxwell Award and one of the Coach of the Year awards next year. So.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to get a Heisman vote. If I can get a Heisman vote, I might have to do some favors to get a Heisman vote. I got a guy. I got a guy there. I have to do some favors.
Get a hookup on that.
No, basically the only way to do it is be aided by a Heisman Trophy. Fortunate for me, I get direct contact with 2 of them. So, let's see what I can do.
All right. Let me see. I gotta see if you got somebody on here on the line.
Yeah, we got it in Atlanta. Let's bring David on.
Go
on, man. You guys.
Yeah, last week.
Did they close the city down again?
Nah, not that really that bad. They didn't expect it, so.
They never do. Never do.
I
thought it was supposed to be a light rain. It turned out to be snow. It's just it's precipitation. It's just frozen.
Exactly.
They don't pay a lot to weather guys there, do they?
No, I don't know. But they weren't expect. They would expect some, but not at that level. But it's all a prediction. Somebody can actually tell you what the weather is. It'd be worth a lot more.
Yeah.
That is true.
Like one of the biggest hustles in the world, man.
Exactly.
Well, we got clouds, and clouds mean that there could be rain, And yes, you did learn this in third grade science. Because you have,
but
they do learn in school. They got degrees, so they have to pay them according to the degree. That's what it is.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do know that, like, they understand, like, what are the things of that nature. A lot of the information that they know now is available on the internet. Back in the day, they access to databases that the no one don't have access to. All that shit is available through the internet now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think so far of Raton Bowl? I know you've probably been glued to your television set.
No, I haven't even watched it.
What?
Let's talk about the thing with Lane Kiffin, though.
I am surprised. Well, just so everybody knows, 8 minutes have expired since my last update in the game, and there has been no change in the score. Margin of FAU with, like I said, a very minimal lead, 3, with 2:13 left in the game. So it's
right now, man.
It's a nail biter.
Yeah, that thing over, man. That thing about
No, Tommy Bowden will have his team inspired for the last 43 seconds. There's actually only 43 seconds because evidently this doesn't update very. Oh, now there's a minute and 30 seconds. So what is it? Now it's 42 seconds.
Nah.
CBS, you guys have the worst game custom ever. 43 seconds. It said 2:11, 43 seconds, a minute, 42 seconds. And now it's at 42 seconds. CBS Sports, ladies and gentlemen. There goes my CBS
Just
job.
looking at this thing right now, man. Yeah, that thing's the final 3. And, Kiffin just got those Gary Bass, and he didn't like it. But we're going to see, what's going to happen next year, because they're going to be opening the season against Oklahoma.
Okay.
And then they're scheduled to get into the net. They be playing like BCU playing Houston next year. So
what I say? Lane Kiffin isn't going to take any college coaching jobs this season. I don't know if you guys heard this, but he signed a 2-year extension. He's not going to stay there 10 years. Nobody's going to stay there 10 years. I'm just saying. But if he leaves, he's not going to leave for another coaching job in college. He'll leave for the pros.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. But it would just be for the pros. And that's just it. I don't know. He really likes it there in South Florida. I mean, he has a house there with a boat. Like, he likes it there. So,
gets the NFL job, not a head coaching job. I don't see it, but we'll see what happens. Crazier things have happened.
Oh, he might. I mean, if you've had this turn back around, and obviously he did have success at Tennessee. He was really limited. It was a bad situation at SC, and then he evolved Alabama, and we've seen what good he did there. 10-win season, not 11-win season, first season at FAU. So I mean, obviously he can do the job, and he learn. He's probably went one of the tougher routes to do so. So, and staying while is the best thing for his stock, and that's what doesn't make any sense for Lane Kiffin to leave FAU for another coaching gig. It definitely wouldn't be Tennessee. Like, Tennessee people were like, "Oh, Kiffin might come back." No. Listen, he doesn't care for small towns. Lane Kiffin does not like to coach in small towns. You know, Fayetteville, don't call. He's, you know, Sexton's not taking that call. He's not taking that. Houston,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, big city. You know, Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, same market. Big area. He's not gonna give up weather and, you know, something for a small town where everybody can leave a pile of crap on his doorstep, you know? And he can't have his boat, he can't go fish. Like, you know, the simple stuff. The location. He likes location. He hated living there in Alabama. He hated it because it was so tiny.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So tiny. I mean, that's what killed him. That's what killed it. So, but let's bring on here one of our also football contributors out of Orlando, Steve Smith, the real Steve Smith.
What's going on, James? What's going on, David? What's up? Been under the weather, trying to come back up out of this thing down, man.
Yeah.
I've had a rough last couple weeks too. Kind of. My daughter got sick, then my wife got sick, then I got sick, and I never get sick. My son has been like the only one that hasn't got sick. So, but good. Yeah, I hear it up. I mean, get it up, get it out.
Yeah. Trying to get the last little bit out, man. I was to the point where I couldn't I had shortness of breath. I couldn't breathe and stuff like that, man. It was bad.
Man.
So how you feel
But
about
I'm here now.
how you feel about your Dolphins and the Pro Bowl?
The what?
The Pro Bowl. Yeah. You know that game that's going to be in Orlando?
Oh, I know about the game in January. I'm actually going to have the kids involved, you know, with the festivities this year at Disney. So, you know, they let you come to the practices and get autographs, things of that nature. So I'm going to actually let them take part this year.
I guess what I'm
Last
saying
year,
is
I didn't realize they were doing all that.
there are no Dolphins players in the Pro Bowl this year.
I know. They're not deserving of being in the Pro Bowl. I mean, my oldest son doesn't like the Dolphins anyway. He's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So, hey, it is what it is. Well,
I've seen the Jacksonville Jaguars got a couple guys.
yeah, I was just talking about that the other day when y'all kicked off the show last year. How you was getting on me about the Jags, what they going to do. But the little stuff we talked about, the little songs they got with Chris Ivory and all that, it's starting to work out this year, you know?
Yeah.
The Jags doing a little something. The defense, they built that defense.
And it looks like that running back was better than the Alabama running back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, looks like another Alabama running back is better than the Alabama running back. King and Drake look better than Yeldon. Shoot.
Yeah, Drake.
At this point, I'm ready to say Yeldon was better than all three of them. I mean, Drake was better than all the cats.
Drake is holding his thing down in Miami, isn't he?
He's home.
Huh?
He had like 2 straight 100-yard games.
Well, here's the thing, man. Kenyon Drake is 6'1". A lot of people cat is 6'1",
I didn't know
like
that.
225. I mean, fast as lightning. He never really got his chance to really shine, man. You know what I mean? But Adam Gates, remember him when he was working with Saban. He was like, he knew this guy was going to he just didn't have an opportunity because of the Jai. You know what I mean? Damian Williams go down, it's like all shit's right in place for King Ray. But it's hard, man. This man he was behind Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, and what's the other guy? TJ. All he had to go up against all that? Come on, man. He never had a shot.
Yeah, but he took his crazy ass out there though. He came out. He knew it was there when he went out to school, knowing what the setup was. I agree with you. He could have did more at a smaller school or at a different school.
Right. If he goes to West Virginia, he balls out. He goes to Oklahoma.
Exactly.
He goes to besides Alabama.
He balls out.
You know what I noticed though at Miami that he had trouble at Alabama when he seems to the game at this point seems good pace for him. Like he's not trying to do too much, and he's able to stay more focused, and that's a big thing because I know at Alabama a lot of times he ran into problems because it seemed like he was trying to do too much. He was trying to be too finesse, trying to, create a highlight more than finish play. Where in Miami, he looks more focused, he's throwing his blows well, and then making things happen when he should in the open field. So that's the difference I'm seeing with him now versus when he was at Alabama. Again, that's probably coaching more than anything. It's good.
Most definitely.
He was one of those guys too. He's one of those guys too. I mean, like you said, 6'1". I forgot he was 6'1", but I knew he ran a 4.4 at the combine. It was in the 4.4s. But also, to keep in mind, he was one of those guys that I know when we talked about the draft, and we were talking about it. He was at Alabama. We were kind of thinking that he's probably going to end up being
90
a better pro
seconds
than a college player. We got about, just so everybody knows, we got about a minute. If you guys want to call into the show still, 347-237-5539, and then we're going to go into the overtime segment. We're not going to do Facebook Live on the overtime segment. And the overtime segment over on YouTube or the Google
seconds.
It will just be available on the Spreaker app or podcasted version on SoundCloud. So for those of you that are listening or watching over on YouTube, appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. But that's all for tonight. Be sure to head on over to the Spreaker app, listen to the last hour of Overtime Live, or check it out over on SoundCloud, or go over to the website, thechtonsports.com. Upper left-hand corner, hit on the listen. So, but that's kind of what I drew from looking at him between Alabama and Miami, going from college to the NFL.
10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, he had a window of opportunity. He also got injury bugs, too. A lot of people forget that he kept getting hurt. Now,
definitely.
If you look at this, you had his year to really come into the fold was T.J. Yeldon, and then there was him. But Yeldon and Kenyon Drake was about the same height. They're both they're both 6 foot backs. But Yeldon knew how to, get low and run between the tackles and just do whatever the coach told him to do. You know what I mean? Drake, I think he was more of that, like he was saying, like the opportunity he got, he wanted to finesse it or do something because he barely got on the field. But yeah, man, he could have easily been in Yeldon's spot if he wasn't getting too many back at Alabama either. But it's one of those things, man. One of those things. It's almost like what's his name? Chris Thompson that went to Florida State. By the time people forget about him, Chris Thompson got lost in the fold between Antoine Walker and Devontae Freeman. Now, Chris Rock Thompson was supposed to be the guy, but he kept getting hurt. So here comes Devontae Freeman, and you know what happened after that? The sky was the limit. But he found a way to slip through the cracks. You know,
Thompson still getting hurt though. He's too little. He's still getting hurt.
I mean, the guy's only 5'8", 5'9" from Madison County. You know what I mean? he was barely 200 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah,
so
he's still getting hurt. He's a good back, but he keep getting hurt because he can't. You know, you got to use him in spot. You can't put no heavy workload on that dude.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely, man.
He's the size of what they should probably have him as, like a third down back. You know, guy catching it out of the backfield, the screens, getting him in open field instead of running him, you know, so much off stretch plays.
I mean, that's his. I mean, that's more his role in Washington.
Yeah,
he's coming on third because he can catch real well.
He's doing what they used to have Roy Halou doing. It's just that he's faster, a lot faster.
Yeah. But even then, I mean, even as a third down back, or even as a passing down back, you just got to watch his uses because he's not a big person. You know what I'm saying? He's just not.
But they run him on a lot of stretches, though. They do a lot of stretch plays with him, and that's his thing. It's like, you know, him.
When I watched him, he was getting a lot of. He was a third down. Yeah. I mean, he made run about when because I had Kelly on my fantasy team, so I used to watch them. And so I kind of watched how they ran their usage, and they ran Kelly a lot on first and second, and they ran him as almost like they designated third down, kind of similar to what the Bucs do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can look at his frame and tell that, you know, you might can get him 8 or 9 carries a game, but you pretty much can't go over that. He don't have to build for that shit.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. As the season progresses, and they saw he got hot, they started putting him in like as an every down back.
Yeah, he can't do that.
But that's where these guys,
you can't do that.
You know, that's where these guys are smaller guys. You got to learn how to get down, how to take the contact right. That thing is like, don't get blown up on every play. You see a guy coming, dive. You just dive down towards his feet. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to try to truck people or try to, try to wiggle way out of one way and then get blown up by the safety that you didn't see, or the defensive end or tackle hitting you from behind. Just dive down, try to get a couple extra yards out of it, and then go ahead and get to the next play. You know, don't get stood up and then blasted. Like, that's the thing is like, or find the sideline, and that's just it. It's like, not enough guys in the league. Yeah, you want to. It's good if you want to fight for every yard. I get that. It's noble, But if you're a slight person, it's just thing. It's the thing. It's physics, If I have a big old, brisket, and I'm gonna pound that meat down, if I'm trying to flatten that out. It's gonna take me a lot longer to pound down a brisket than it is a skirt steak. I'm just saying it's just less there. He's a lot less mass. He's not a big guy. There's a lot of guys in the league that aren't big guys, but still, when you're in a situation where you're receiving a hit, just every time you get the ball and you're doing well, obviously you're going to get the ball more. They just need to find ways to get down and get to the next play,
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, you got to run smart. But everybody, you look at like Freeman. Freeman's running style is so aggressive. He's going to continue to get hurt because that's just how he runs. I think it's going to be hard to coach him to do something that's kind of not in him.
But he's a lot thicker too.
Did you hear his interview where he's like, he doesn't care. I'm gonna run the way I want to run, and ain't nobody gonna stop me.
Well, I mean, that's the only choice he got. At his size, if he don't run aggressive, he ain't gonna make it in the NFL. His problem is that if he keeps having concussions, he ain't gonna make it either. That's his problem. So
He ain't gonna make it anywhere.
it's a double-edged sword because I saw the concussion he got against Dallas. You know, he went to try to truck that dude, and he got caught, and they laid into his ass. And that was his second concussion for the year. And if he continues to, if he gets another concussion next year, he's going to have to miss more time. They're going to figure out a way to get him out of that contract. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so worried about a lawsuit coming down the road.
No,
anytime you have a concussion
it's his rookie.
Injury,
he's on his rookie deal
scary.
still. It's fully guaranteed.
No, he got an extension.
But the rookie portion is fully guaranteed.
His deal got reworked.
He got an extension.
You can't rework
He got his deal reworked a little bit.
No. The rookie portion of the deal it's non-negotiable. It's fully guaranteed. So you can extend
man, we're talking about next year, man. This year over with.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just so you know, the rookie portion, it's non-negotiable. You can't. It's all guaranteed.
What I'm saying is that as he roll into the next, this year pretty much, he's gonna play the playoffs. What we're saying is that as he moves into the future, the deal that he got now, that extension, they're gonna find a way to get out of that deal if he continues to have concussion.
Oh yeah.
Because if they just had him on his rookie deal, they wouldn't care because they would just let him exhaust his rookie deal and just get rid of him. But his issue was moving into the future with those concussions because he's already registered his second concussion and he's had 2 in 1 year, and that becomes an issue. And the way he runs, he's gonna always have issues with concussions because if you try to tackle him, he's trying to run through you. He ain't going to the ground.
See, the problem is Freeman run like he a big dude, and he ain't a big dude.
But, that's all he knows, Steve. You know what I'm saying? That's how he been successful. Because, we from Florida. So they teach you, when I was telling him to text, they teach you to hit that hole hard as you can. And so that's just how he runs. You know what I'm saying? He's hitting that hole hard as he can, and if you get in front of him, he's going to just try to run straight through you. That's how they teach you how to run in Florida. They don't teach that shit when you try to search for the hole. You hit that motherfucker hard as you can, else you ain't going to play.
And you know who else run like that?
Yes.
Alex Collins. Look at Alex Collins. He run the same way.
But Fred Taylor ran like that. What's his name? Cook, Dalvin run like that. That's how they teach you how to run the ball in Florida. You got to hit that shit hard, else you ain't gonna play. And they started at a young age.
That's why EJ was a different breed, because EJ was very patient when he ran. The same thing Le'Veon Bell doing, EJ was been doing that from the Miami days.
Yeah.
6'1", 6'2", back, 232. Huh?
Shoot, from the Immokalee days.
Yeah,
right.
That's why he lasted.
That's what I'm
But if
saying.
you look at
6'1", 6'2", 232, patient in the backfield.
patient.
Come on, man.
But look at Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, another one. As soon as he get the ball, he hit it. Run the same way. That's how they teach. You know what I'm saying? That's how they coach it down there. That's why I didn't like Yeldon, because I like Yeldon be searching for holes. The hole right there, you got to go through the hole, dog. The hole ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't like nobody searching for no hole. Go through the hole.
Yeah, if you spend
That's why Yeldon, when he was the main back.
Yeah, that's what I said about Yeldon going into the league, because if you don't have the foresight to see the hole and where the hole is opening, and when you see something start to open, if you can't hit it in the league, it closes. That window closes too quick.
Exactly.
You can't. Yeah. You're not going to get anywhere, and that's why Yeldon hadn't been successful. He's not. He's a lot like when runners need to hit the hole in the NFL. It's a lot like understanding like quarterbacks. Too many of the quarterbacks that come into the NFL now have to see a guy open to throw it to them, whereas you want them to throw to get a guy open. It's different in the NFL. It's more anticipation. It is more finesse. It's being able to put the ball on a spot on the field, in an area of the field, and having the wideout go to that spot. And the reason being because you can't throw to people because defenders are too good in the league. They're just too good. They're too fast. They're too big. They're too skilled. So you need to be able to throw it to a spot where defenders are not. So that's thing. Looking at Big Ben, that's what he does so good. Those deep balls down the field, he puts them right in the bucket, you know. And guys, and Winston hasn't figured that out. I mean, they kept comparing him to Winston to Roethlisberger. I never saw that comparison, but I mean, Winston one day he'll figure out how to put some arc on that shit, so it's not a damn arrow. Like, you know, he can get some little arc on it. Maybe he should pay a little bit of basketball and learn what some arc on the shot is. I don't know, something, because he's throwing fastballs.
He did that a couple times in the game last night.
He threw some good bombs last night, boy.
He outplayed Matt Ryan
last night.
I will say he outplayed Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
One thing about Jameis Winston, I like his rollout game. And the reason I say that, if anybody knows anything about baseball, a quarterback that plays baseball, get those quarterbacks on the run, man. Those guys are dangerous.
Yeah.
Super dangerous. Like John Elway played baseball. You know what I mean? Like Russell Wilson. Get those guys out of the pocket, man. It's not always about being in the pocket. Everybody can't be Tom Brady, dude. Tom Brady's Tom Brady because he can't run for shit. So roll these guys out, man. You ever better when Winston improvises, that dude looks darn good. But when he's trying to be all in the pocket and Mr. I'm this and that, no. That's when he needs to put his glasses on because he can't see. So roll that dude out.
Right? Put them contacts
Let
in.
him roll out, man.
Hey, just to kind of update on what we were talking about before, Freeman's contract. So, again, the rookie deal is fully guaranteed, and that expires this year. It's his 4th year. He had a 4-year rookie deal. It could be a 4-year or a 5-year. He had a 4-year rookie deal. They decided to go with the option and extend him. And obviously it was he got a 6-year extension. Let me see. I'm trying to grab the figures here. 6-year extension that was with roughly 17.3 guaranteed. You know, average salary is $3.75 million. All right. So essentially, the team has an out in 2020, where it essentially leaves him at a 3-year contract with only $6 million in dead cap. So if they can get the use that they need out of him this season and the next 2, they can get out. They can get out in 2020.
Yeah, get out.
So that's what we're going to be looking at. Is he a smaller version of Steven Jackson now, with where his career goes? You know, a lot of big home runs, a lot of, you know, hit it hard and dealing with injuries. And now what's the end of his career going to end up? Is it going to be like Steven Smith? Or Steven Jackson, not Steven Smith. Yeah.
Steven Jackson, yeah, that's a dude. Yeah, that's a dude that used to, you know, be balling, but like I was saying, he's a guy that that ran too hard and tried to hit everything, and now he's out of the league.
Yeah. So you just gotta monitor Freeman, man, because they so severe on those concussions now. You know, like Kamara played 2 weeks ago. He had a concussion in the game against Atlanta downhill. Like, that wasn't even no hard hit. But they're so sensitive about it now, they just took him out of the game. Yep. It was crazy. Like, damn, he didn't really get hit that hard. But, you know, they really sensitive about that stuff now. And it will decrease your value as a player if you keep having them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, teams are scared of getting in trouble now.
Yeah.
So they found out you should have been on concussion protocol. They're going to find the hell out of you and all kind of things coming your way.
Russell Wilson kind of got
man.
Russell Wilson skated, man. He went into that thing. He went in, popped back out. He didn't even get checked. Like, what was that, 4 weeks ago? They made him go over. He went in, pulled up the tent, and then left. Like, he pulled it up and then popped right back out. Like, nobody even checked him. And that's just the thing. It's like, and he just skated on it, too. No suspension. The media didn't go berserk. I think 2 shows talked about him for like an hour total. You know? Like, it's cool. But then you hear, like, there's guys that have been a week on Martellus Bennett being nominated for Sportsman of the Year for how it's a travesty. He's nominated for Sportsman of the Year for the Seahawks. You know? And I didn't touch on that last week, but I mean, they say he rolled up. I've watched the video a few times, and to me it looked like he was going to swipe for the ball, couldn't get it. But the offensive lineman was right there. You know, it's not like he was like he plowed into the guy's knees. No, he went down to the ground by his ankles, but he didn't do anything above and beyond at the original point, and then the lineman kept pushing him. So then he knocked the lineman down afterwards. Like, I mean, again, that's after the fact, but not the original. I mean, again, that got more attention than Russell Wilson. Not effectively a guy that's one of the bigger faces, one of the by the rule guys, you know, clean cut guys of the league, blatantly avoiding concussion protocol. You know? And the league lets him skate. But they don't play any favorites. You know? A guy Debo to Chain got 2 games, and then a bigger guy slams into a defensive player out of bounds, also gets 2 games. Like they got this all figured out, don't they?
That's how it is.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, how can anybody have respect for any punishment? Like, the dollar amounts are just gone from the check. The games are just not allowed. And really, I mean, where's the consistency with it? Where's the degree? How is it measured? Where's an example of the scale? Like, is Gronk not? Is he only suspended 2 games because he's a first-time offense? I don't know. What is it?
Well, that's always like you know what I'm saying. That's always negligible how they like do that. So sometimes it just depends on the player or things like that. So if it's like a first offense or a second offense or whatever, they like there's like no set protocol as to like how many games they're suspended in a case like that.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with who the player is, and I think what they think his value is to the league. I think Gronk only got 1 game. Gronk got that 1 game because he Gronk and because he played for the Pats. You know what I'm saying? Well, if somebody else was to do that, they probably would miss 3 or 4 games. You know, and it also depends on the situation. You know, I think because of what Ezekiel Elliott was accused of, why they came down so hard on him. But I think in another situation, they probably wouldn't come down hard on him like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real tricky situation, but a lot of it got to do with who you are, what they think your value is to the league. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Yep. Because I mean, like, then with Elliott with the Cowboys. I mean, he played with the Cowboys, so whether he plays or not, I mean, it still doesn't necessarily affect the overall allure of the franchise. I mean, people are still going to be going to the games in droves over there at Cowboys Stadium. So, you know, if he's there, he's not there. They're gonna show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no question. I mean,
I think
they average 93
I think he got a
million,
raw deal on that though.
or 93,000. They average 93,000 in attendance at Cowboy Stadium at Jerry World. 90.
Your tech told me that shit.
It's crazy. It's the only pro stadium that could rival attendance for any college. Any college. That's it. So it's,
Who?
the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got a major brand. You know what I'm saying? And that's to be, it's to be applauded. But like I said, I just think they came down hard on Ezekiel because of the situation. Well, I think he had situations before that where they really didn't do nothing. But I think because of that, the specific type of situations where it caused him so much trouble. Dude missed he missed 6 games without pay. That's a lot of money.
I'm interested.
That's a lot of bread.
Okay, so if the standard is you're not charged, you're not convicted, but there's unreported sexual misconduct or whatever they want to call it. I mean, the Huffington Post reported the week that the incident came out about Jameis Winston and the Uber driver that there were unreported incidents with females with Jameis Winston at Florida State. So again, this is like it's now the NFL investigation into Winston. Are they going to come down on him like they did on Ezekiel Elliott? Because we
don't know because they ain't done with. Are they done with the investigation?
No, I mean they took forever to do Zeke's too.
So that's what I'm saying. Jameis might get suspended next year. You don't never know. The way this shit is going now, this stuff come out 4 years later.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's going right now. So they may suspend Jameis in the middle of the season next year.
And the way society's going, like you can't. Again, I think this is a big thing why they try to avoid any sort of fraternization at all in the workplace, but now it's like it's zero. If people are cool or not cool with it, it's like and that's not even just at work. Like at work, you lose your job. Like now, just in general, guys could have everything. You could lose a lot for hitting on someone. Again, it's not even just. It's not even groping. It's not even just groping or like literally just hitting on someone, making a sly sexual comment. Now that's considered sexual harassment, and if you're of anybody in a particular particular status, now your career could be ruined because you made a pass at somebody and they didn't want it. My question is, if you're making a pass at somebody and you haven't made passes at them before, maybe you have, but how do you know that they necessarily don't? It's a rejection if you haven't asked. How do you know if you don't ask? Like, this is just kind of, I don't get some of it. And I get a lot of the situations in the news are much deeper than that. But I'm just saying, like,
it's deeper than it.
It is. I'm just saying at a much more basic level, like, and it gets worrisome. It really is worrisome. Like, you can't, like, single adults or conversations between adults that have been maybe sexual in nature. Now you have to have clear-cut knowledge and understanding and some sort of formal writing, I guess now, or you're carrying like a box of non-disclosures around with you, Like, I don't know. Yeah, like James.
Yeah, but this the thing though. This the thing though, Matt. Don't date nobody you work with.
I got you.
Right.
That's real easy. Just don't date nobody you work with. That's a real easy situation. Like, I don't understand.
Especially if you work from home.
Why you trying to holler at chicks? No, I mean, don't date, you know what I'm saying? Just don't date nobody you work with. All bullshit aside, just don't date nobody you work with. I don't understand why
Yeah, I get that.
it's so hard for a dude that live in a city, especially if you live in a fairly big size city. Just every woman that you work with, you just don't deal with that shit outside of work. Don't deal with them at all. Don't deal with them outside of work. And then you won't have that issue. Too many dudes be trying to mess with chicks on their job, man. That's a bad situation. You know, my problem is that a lot of dudes, I feel sorry for a lot of dudes because they haven't really been taught how to conduct themselves around women. Yeah. And I don't mean like having manners. I mean like just having some game about yourself. And so they just think that a lot of this behavior is acceptable. You don't need to be having no sexual conversation with no chick that you work with. Why are you talking to her like that? Like, that don't make sense. You got all these women in your city that you don't work with that you can talk to like that. So why you want to talk like that to somebody that you work with? But these dudes don't have no game about themselves, so they get caught up like this.
You know, and that's
it's bad when you got to sell your NFL franchise. Come on, man.
Yeah, you know. But you say, well, why would I don't understand how these guys that got money and got prestige, like, you got women coming after you. So, like, why is you trying to, aggressively pursue any woman? Like, if I got a pocket full of money, I ain't even, like, a chick got to be on a certain level and have a conversation with me. I ain't sweating none of them, dog. Don't worry about my paper. So I don't understand how a guy that's worth millions of dollars is spending his time trying to meet women to do stuff they don't want to do. If she don't want to do it, tell her to get ass up out your house.
See, that's the problem because they have this big ego trip, man. Like, I got all this money, I'm in power, and you're gonna do what the hell I tell you to do.
I feel you.
I feel you. I'll get somebody else to do it. So a lot of these women get in these pressure situations that they never want to get into. I ain't gonna say to keep a job or move up, whatever the case may be. Yeah. But they get into situations, though, and it's real. I see. It is real life. Out about it. They come out about it. They get scared.
It is real life. But my thing is, as a man, you're supposed to know how to conduct yourself a certain kind of way. To me, this is what I was taught. If I'm a man and that's a woman, if I got to do certain things to make her do certain stuff, what I'm saying is that woman is above me. See what I'm saying? So that woman not above me, so I ain't got to go through all these flips and all these crazy type of situations to make her want to do nothing. If she ain't with it, she ain't with me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't see trying to make no woman feel like, well, if you don't have sex with me, you ain't going to get no promotion. I ain't got to hang that over no chick head. I ain't got to do no crazy. That's crazy shit to me. Like, the chick supposed to want to do shit with you. You the man. So I don't understand. But like I say, everybody been taught different levels of game.
Yeah.
But I don't get these dudes that once they get a little bit of money and prestige want to try to make these women do stuff. That shit don't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, they try to hold it over as some type of power over the woman. So that's pretty much how they pretty much approach it. So it's like, yeah, maybe, I mean, they might not have the type, the game and whatnot, but they got the money or they got the status, and they just say, hey, I got this money or I got this status, and I can get you to this point where you want to get to. But in order to do that, you're going to have to do something for me. And that's pretty much how they go at them with it.
But, Bell, check this out, though. Bell, if you got bread and status, chicks going to be on you because you got bread and status, dog. You ain't got to go through all that other stuff, dog. Chicks gonna be on you just because you got bread and status. So you just gotta pick out of them chicks.
James,
you ain't gotta don't want to do what you don't want. You ain't gotta go through
it. They don't want to pick out of them chicks, though.
James,
you got what I'm saying? How go ahead, man. My bad, man.
No, the only acceptable response to that is, I get chicks without the money and status. What you talking about? I mean, that was the only acceptable response.
Well, I'm saying either way, though. But what I'm saying is that you got dude that's the director of a major motion picture company in Hollywood. You can't force no woman to do nothing. Hollywood, I've been to LA multiple times.
That wasn't even like women. It wasn't even
you ain't got to force no women.
With him, with Weinstein and with Louis C.K., those things weren't like forcing women to do stuff. they had sexual fetishes that they were living out that were perverted fetishes.
No, they was forcing the women, dog, because they putting the woman in a situation where she feel like if she don't do it, she not gonna get promoted. That's forcing.
No, I know what you mean.
You ain't got to do that.
Yeah, but what they were doing, is acting out perverted fantasies. It was yes, they were forcing them, putting them in situations that they weren't comfortable in.
But Matt,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah,
Matt,
I agree.
When you in that position in the world, you can find a woman to act those fantasies out.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Exactly.
You ain't got to go through all. You ain't got to go through all that. This is what I'm saying. But this is the problem. So it's something wrong with you as a man if you feel like I'm gonna make this woman do something sexually that she don't want to do. You got a problem, bro, because you ain't got to do that. And you ain't got to do no shit like that.
And here's like when it comes to stuff like that, like Hollywood, these people in Hollywood, like why is it after people come out and they're like, oh yeah, there's this many victims, and then people are like, yeah, we all knew. Like, what? Like how messed up is it? Like, so everybody knew this stuff was going on basically, and nobody cared, and nobody did what? Like, there's just nobody in Hollywood having balls. Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, that's the culture.
That's the culture.
That's how it's developed to be that point. It's gotten to that point to where it's almost commonplace now. So when you see that stuff, I mean, on our side it may seem surprising to us, but over there they're like, you know what, that stuff happens every day.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. That's the culture.
So it's an issue with culture.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's an issue with men. Well, we've taught men that one, you put this woman on so much of a pedestal to where you'll lower yourself to make her want to do something she don't want to do, and then you think you're supposed to get a prop for that shit. And you ain't got to do none of that shit. If you a man and you got something going on about yourself, you supposed to find a woman that want to go along with what you want to go along with. You ain't supposed to try to make no woman do nothing.
Yeah, because I think what they've confused is game and machismo. They've confused the two.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think having machismo, they can get people to do what they want. You got to have game, and they're going to want to do it anyways.
Yeah, they don't understand the difference, man. You ain't got a sport, especially when you, like I said, you got a pocket full of money and you famous.
Yeah.
You got women all over you, bro.
Yeah.
Why you trying to make some chick do some shit? I don't understand what kind of person is I'm gonna make this woman do something because she feel like if she don't do it, she not gonna get promoted, and then now I'm into this type of shit.
And where
I don't get that shit, bro.
And where are the lobbyists for prostitutes of America? Like, what, are prostitutes just not good enough for rich white guys anymore? Like, what's the deal? Like, you can't just find a prostitute now?
They power tripping. They power tripping. That's it about it. They power tripping.
I'm like, all the women, all the women out there in the world that, like y'all said, could probably, act out any fetish that they want.
Exactly.
But yet they find somebody.
They can probably find that on Craigslist or something. Isn't that what Craigslist is for these days?
Come on, man.
Somebody was telling me that the other day. That's all Craigslist is used for. Maybe wasn't that you, David? Did you say something about that, David? That's all Craigslist is used for?
I don't know, but you got communities. You got communities of people that do different types of sexual acts. You got the kink community. You got the S&M community. So if you into that type of shit, you know what I'm saying, you can get into a community of people that, because I heard through the grapevine a real reputable source that I ain't gonna say their name because I ain't gonna put them out there, but it's some Hollywood stars that everybody know that are swingers. So you ain't gotta try to force nobody to be in that lifestyle. That's what people already doing this shit. So I just don't, like I said, we've taught men that too many men are taught to value sex, and they value it at a point to where they gonna make somebody give it to them.
See, that's what I was saying.
I probably know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably do. Yeah, so that's the problem.
But that's the thing.
Like I said, when you got accomplished men acting like that, then they teach men that's not as accomplished, and they teach younger men that's how you're supposed to act. And you ain't supposed to conduct yourself like that around a woman.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? She not with it. You don't do it.
I think you made
and that's the thing that was like brought up in this was like brought up in our chat earlier today with I think it was Tex that like posted the thing from Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon kind of like laid it out. You know what goes on in that in Hollywood. You know, trying to get into the game or stay in the game and whatnot. He pretty much laid it out. But I mean, a lot of people have said it anyway, so that's why to me it's no surprise. Because people have said it, it's just that people have said it many times before. It just wasn't believed. But once things started coming out and people actually started to get in trouble for it, then you got more and more people starting to know about it right now.
And David, I think you hit on a point. You hit on a point. I think if we look at it from an economical standpoint, the valuation of pussy is too high. I mean, I think it's being valued too high, and I think if we just bring the value, if we have some deflation in the value of pussy, then less of the shenanigans would happen, because because the women make themselves less successful. No, hold up, listen.
It is. He right.
If women from the age of 12 learn the word no all the time, because they're always being asked, how do you change a response in someone? You know, if you're not asking for something as much, people think either you don't want it or they're going to have to find it too. Because the door really does swing both ways. Women actually do like to have sex too, you know? Funny story. It does swing both ways, but they're pursued more because, like you said, the valuation on sex is so high, but it needs to come back down. If you bring that down, and the focus of just finding sex isn't a goal, you know, it's not the main goal with men, and we teach our young men that that's not the goal. You know, to just focus and chase after that one thing. Because at the end of the day, where's the value? David, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever found some that has just put money in your bank account before. I mean, like, you know, I've never had sex and money just popped into my bank account just for sex.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm in the wrong industry, but that's never happened to me. I'm willing to think most of the, you know, billions of people in the world have never had that happen either. So if we don't, yes, it's something desired, something is joyful, and it's something required to continue life. Yes, but if we put so much value and stock into just that, that's where the deviant behaviors, that's where, it becomes harder, you know. If you bug somebody about doing something all the time, usually somebody just gets upset and says, no, leave me the hell alone. But if you, again, that's the difference between machismo and game. So get some game. Stop trying to just make things happen. You know, you can't bulldoze your way through everything. So I don't know. I'm
100% agree. I 100% agree with you. I think we live in a society where we taught men that, like, that's a big deal, and so we use that to replace. Well, you know, when men are not accomplished in other areas, then they figure, well, I could be successful at that, and so then that becomes a fixation, and now they do anything to get it, and then they start to, like, just become obsessed with that shit. And you got to, as a man, you're supposed to have more going on than the fact that you just throwing some chicks. You got to have more going on than that. Because that's easy to do with women everywhere. But we ain't taught men that. So they grow up thinking like this is how it is. And then, like you say, when you got really successful men, you know, like Donald Trump talking about something, you know, you can grab them like this. You teaching dudes that that's how you're supposed to act when you get in a position of power. And you can't be teaching people that type of shit. But that's just that's the kind of world we live in now. It put too much value in it. You know, I never in my life felt like I had to try to make a chick do something with me that she didn't want to do. I ain't tripping. If you don't want to do it, I'm cool. I'll find somebody. Yeah. See what I'm saying? But so I ain't never felt like I got allotted with chicks. I got to misrepresent myself. I ain't got to do none of that shit. I ain't got to. Because, you know what I'm saying, I know what I'm about, and I know that it's people out there that's vibing the same way I'm vibing. I just never got into it like that. But a lot of that had to do came from my daddy because he was on that same type of time. But I guess a lot of these dudes ain't never been taught that shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, well, let's move on. I was reading some old message here, so we'll move on. I want to talk a little bit on the NBA. Now, do you guys feel that it was appropriate or necessary for Kobe Bryant to have both jersey numbers retired? I think it was a perfectly Kobe result. But even me, probably the most hardcore Kobe guy on the line right now, I feel it's kind of borderline unnecessary.
Who?
Kobe.
Who?
Kobe
Who
Bryant.
is?
Me.
Oh.
I'm
Okay.
probably the most hardcore Kobe
I'm about
guy.
to say, ain't nobody here, no Kobe guys but you.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
was
you
gonna
said.
say, yeah. So that's fair.
You must ain't even look back to the chat.
No, I know, but that's why
Yeah.
I was trying to lighten it. I don't make y'all sound like Kobe haters. But you think I think it's a bit unnecessary to have both jerseys retired. You can't just pick one. You retire both numbers. You know? I don't know.
Bro, he should have just retired 24 and let it go. Just retire 24 and let it go, dog.
And then talking about 8 was different than 4. Like, the numbers were different people. Like, Kobe's a weird dude sometimes. Like, it's just like really like a weird ass dude. Like, it's in his.
But that's Kobe being Kobe.
He's in his world. Like, it's a Kobe Bryant world, and it's like, yeah, 8 was this and that, and then it's him going into his storyteller mode now. Like, he's old and wise. Like, Kobe's like, in NBA terms, he's old, but he's not even an old person. Kobe's what, like 38? Was he 38?
He ain't even 40 yet, man.
He ain't even 40.
Sound
And I'm like, the dude has
like
5 years on me.
though.
And he's talking about, like, and he's acting like he's some, like, 65-year-old man that's, you know, just left his straw hat in the car and walked into the Staples Center. I mean, it's just like, what? You know, I think back. You're not even 40 yet.
That was, and even when he was doing his interviews, like 2010, 2011, 2012, he calling people kids, and the kid got to learn how to adapt to the game, bro.
LeBron does the same
too,
thing.
man. What you talking
LeBron
about?
does the same thing. Just so.
He was like 33. Talking about kids, 32, 33.
He's been playing a long time, though, man.
He had 20
Yeah,
in
he
a
played a
career.
long time, but you don't see how often you hear LeBron referring to the kid.
He referred to Kyrie Irving as a
But, you
kid.
know,
Bob is
I tried to help the kid.
you know,
I did as much as I
that's how
could
Kobe
for the
talked to
kid.
that's how Kobe talk to people, man.
Yeah, Kobe, he didn't always talk like that, though. When he was
he
number
did.
8, he didn't talk like
He
that.
did. He did.
Because he was the kid.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people can say what they want, man. I'm going to say what I have to say about Kobe Bryant. This dude hid behind the shadows of Shaquille O'Neal for all those years, dog. Like, he was not balling like that. He had a lot of athleticism. He had a lot of potential. You saw the light. You saw shades of what he could be. But we didn't see the real Kobe Bryant till Shaq died. And that's as real as it's ever going to be. There's no way you can tell me you did it. I feel you.
Yeah. They gonna disagree, but you know, like I say, man, when when you play with LA, when you play in LA, man, and you on a winning team, it do a lot for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
It's
do
like
a lot for you.
It's like being on the Yankees. You know? But
So you're saying he's Derek Jeter?
I mean, we talk about Kobe.
Is that what you're saying?
Derek,
Kobe Bryant.
hey, that to me, Derek Jeter is an example, man. That gum sabotager, Derek Jeter. But that's another story. But as far as when Jeter was on the Yankees,
about Derek Jeter right now. I don't even know about that.
That's your boy.
Like Jeter, man. I mean, Jeter, when he was playing with the Yankees, it wasn't like he was, out and about like the best overall player or something like that. Like he didn't give that type of vibe, but he was like, consistent. He came up with the big plays sometimes when he could, and so. But, with him being on the Yankees, that just, magnified it even bigger,
You know what?
Definitely.
I think if you want to compare somebody's career, Kobe, and someone, I think Kobe is like Ben Roethlisberger because he's caught in between generations of greatness and has had some really good players or greats on his team at the same time as him. So what he's done has been diminished or overlooked in a sense because of who's come before him and after him and who he's been around. So I think it's kind of a similar approach.
What has he done, Matt? What has he done?
Kobe?
Kobe.
He's top 3 in league history in scoring.
He top 3?
Yeah. He's 3.
How many years has he been in the league, though?
20 seasons. And obviously, we know that he only played 18.
Right.
Because 2, he was injured. 2.5, he was injured.
That's a long time to play now. Shit, 18 years. I mean, that ain't no.
Just saying.
Okay, he third all time. He third all time scoring.
Yeah.
And he got what? We got what? 4 rings, 5 rings.
5 rings.
5 rings.
5 rings. Okay.
3 of them in a row, and then 2 back to back.
How many
was his?
Huh? All of them are his.
How many was his?
They're all his. What are you talking about?
He was a starter. He was a starter team on 2. He was starter team on 2 of them though.
That's like saying
but he got 5 rings.
You married like how much of that mortgage did you pay? We paid our mortgage. What the fuck are you talking about? I live here. Shit.
But you do, hey.
How many is his?
But let's be real. If you want to take it there, in some situations, somebody was forwarding that mortgage than the other party in the relationship. You feel me? Somebody was carrying that mortgage for a long time.
Well, you know what? Yeah. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, if things got taken care of and the desired result came at the end of the day anyways. It really doesn't. How you got there really doesn't matter as much in retrospect.
You're right.
If you're looking back. Because we're looking at the past. What did they achieve? Does he have a ring? Yeah, he has 5 rings. You know.
So what I'm saying is, what was his accomplishments? Like we were talking about earlier today. We know what Jordan's accomplishments were.
But I think he should have had.
What is Kobe's accomplishments as a?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He only has 1 league MVP. I think he should have got the year that Nash got it and the year that Iverson got it. I think he should have been the MVP those 2 years.
But he didn't get it though.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, but he didn't get it.
Also the scoring titles too. Like again, when I say that's why I say that Kobe Bryant is Ben Roethlisberger. He's a victim of circumstance where he's had amazing career and a lot of breakout seasons where when you're averaging 30-something points a game in multiple seasons, and you win, 1 scoring title? Is it 2 scoring titles? 1 league MVP? You got 5 titles? Like, how are you by far for a period, like after Jordan retired, and before LeBron's 5th year in the league. Like, that whole span, you're clearly the best player in the league. How do you only win one MVP in that entire span? It's because, like LeBron right now. Like, we can clearly say, like, last year, LeBron James probably has been the MVP of the league every year since, like, his 5th season. I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah. All right.
So, but he hasn't won he's won it what? 3 times? Right? He has 3 MVPs right now?
Yeah, 4
times.
4 times.
4 times.
And again, he's what, 14 years into his career? 15? He's only won it 4. So, I mean, are we diminishing what he's done every other year? Yeah, absolutely. Just because of the award, you're looking at the award. So, again, I think Kobe and the way people look at his career is such a victim. He's a victim of circumstance. Like, he didn't win those awards. He's just slided out from it, But he's kind of been that. He hasn't been a warm figure to people to really latch onto, and hasn't given 2 shits about it. And that's easier for people to not like too. Like, his personality makes it easier for people not to like him. Like, he's a very against the grain kind of person.
Not his person. No, it's not that. I just, like, when I first started watching Kobe Bryant, I just felt like he wasn't being himself. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I felt like he was trying to play a role for the camera, and a lot of people do, but they better at it than he was. So to me, if he would have came in the gate,
I'd agree with that. I agree
came
with
in the
that.
gate just being who he was, just came in the gate and be who you are as a person, and say, take it or leave it, but I'm gonna be myself. I could rock with you a little bit better, because that's how Allen Iverson came in. That's how other people came. It was just themselves. But Kobe kind of tried to come in and play this role that I think he thought people were going to buy into. Yeah. And you can't fool us, dog. We know that's not really who you are. And then over time, when we find out who you really are, you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden now that you want to try to act like, you a different kind of person. And then at the same time, when you go down to the police department and you start giving up names, like, where we from, we don't fuck with that shit. Like, we just don't do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We don't do that. That's not what we do. But somebody don't have nothing to do with your situation, we don't do that. And so I think that hurt him also with a lot of his publicity. And then he tried to kind of make excuses for why he did that. But yeah, you're supposed to be this, this certain type of figure. Like a lot of Kobe Bryant, people see through. I think he knows that, which is why I think he's standoffish. I think he's really kind of scared to really be who he is as a person and have people deal with that. So he tries to create this character of the Mamba. Come on, bro. Like, nobody ain't buying that shit, but some white kids out there in the suburbs. Don't nobody buy that shit, bro.
Right. Yeah.
It was a lot of us.
And remember, that's why I said in the chat. That's why I used to call him Phony Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious, man. It was obvious. But I mean, he was fooling certain people, but you can't fool. Like, we see through this shit, dog. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't add up, because if you are this tough figure, and then the police say, look here, man, we need to talk to you about a rape case. Okay, first mistake you make is you talk to them without a lawyer, but you probably don't know no better. Then you get in the room and you start talking about what other people is doing. Well, dog, that ain't got shit to do with you. So you showing us that you fold under pressure. But then on the other end, the media trying to talk about, this guy Kobe, he's so tough, and man, come on, man, kill that shit.
Yeah, a lot of us. I know a lot of people I knew, we didn't like Kobe, dog. Growing up, we weren't no Kobe fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who is this cat? Who is this cat? You know what I mean?
Wait. Okay. If you look at the persona, the off the court stuff, I was a fan of Kobe, and I've been a fan of Kobe because of what he does on the court. That's not you can't deny what he's done on the court.
It was already salty.
Yeah, he could play. We can't take no. He could play. Kobe could ball.
That's what I'm saying.
But when you buy into the way the NBA marketing is set up is they want you to buy into a person's personality.
Oh.
It ain't just on the court stuff. They want you to. So so that's you the exception.
That's me.
Because these people are buying into Allen Iverson's personality. They didn't just buy into what he did on the court. They bought into the whole package, and that's what they selling.
Yeah.
And Kobe just never really
But that was
convinced
more
me
authentic.
that what they were selling me,
But
it
the thing
was
is,
really who he was.
the thing is with
One thing about
Kobe,
Allen
though,
Iverson, whether you like him or not, that's who he is.
what people have to understand with Kobe, what Kobe has struggled with his whole life is not just acceptance, but
Is being
identity.
100.
Well, identity, like, you know, growing up in Italy and moving around a lot, you know, he struggled with that stuff. He's never established an identity. So when he came into the league, or from high school on, like, he has to create this persona, this person, you know. And when he came in, it was, you know, I'm the next Jordan. I'm the next Michael Jordan. And he put work and time into learning the moves, learning the mannerism. Like, literally, it was like he was a clone of Michael Jordan, you know. And as far as, like, championships, he came one short. Jordan needed a team too. You know, if Jordan didn't have a team around him, I mean, if you read, was it 11 Rings, the book, Phil Jackson book, he kind of said if it wasn't for Ron Harper, those last couple years, they probably don't win those titles. You know, he was the key.
Where's Ron Harper? Where's Ron Harper from? Does anybody know?
Nope. Nope.
Ron Harper's from Orlando, buddy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Nope.
All right.
But the thing about this is the thing though, y'all could you know what rationale y'all got for Kobe trying to be somebody that he wasn't. You know, it's all water under the bridge.
But the thing is,
like I said before, is
like
that everybody
said, that's what it is about buying a brand. He was creating a persona,
Exactly.
and that's what he was selling as a persona. And off the court, he was somebody else.
But
He's
selling
more of a
himself.
family guy. But the thing is, like,
but-
since he gave up basketball, he's probably more of a real person. He's probably more of a real person now. But then once he gets retired, he's back in front of the cameras there. Now he has to be that person. If Kobe Bryant is not talking about basketball, he's probably a lot more authentic person. At least that's what I've seen. Like when literally sitting down, he's talking about, like, I don't know, not even paying attention to basketball, the NBA season.
Yeah, but
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.